TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Teaming with Stan Hansen over there, working with Brody.
Oh, it was great. I mean, I loved Japan. I loved the culture. I loved the people. It took me some time, you know, because I remember the first time I went to Japan, I was 21. No, I was 22. 22. I'd been in the business a little over a year. And I went over on the first tour I went on for 4 weeks, and I was with Bobo Brazil and Tank Patton and this guy they call the Wolfman. And 4 weeks seemed like an eternity because, you know, you couldn't watch TV. You couldn't, I mean, you know, and there I was 22 years old. I mean, it's like, golly, you know, just the days would drag on. But I learned to love Japan and the food and the culture. And yeah, I guess another milestone in my career would have to be that, you know, over the years of me going there, I developed a reputation and a rapport with the people there. They admired my style. And when Brody and Hansen did the split, you know, timing again is everything. And with the Japanese fans too, you couldn't just come on the scene and then accept you. They had to see you over a period of time and watch you grow. And you know, it's like that seniority thing. That positioning is very, very, very important in Japan. And so I had put in my time and my apprenticeship, so to speak. It just the big breaking that happened. And when Brody left Baba and went to New Japan, which was big news, Stan came to me and he said, how would you like to start coming over here on a regular basis and be my tag team partner? And I said, are you kidding? I was like, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd love to do that. And so I went from just being Ted to being Ted the Cowboy. I mean, of course, he was the big star, you know, and I was willing to adapt his deal. I didn't change my style, but and I also, the other thing is understanding positioning. Even though I was tagging up with Stan and being his partner, I also realized that I was going to be viewed as the weaker link in the chain. In other words, you know, I wasn't going to be the one standing in the corner waiting for the hot tag.
Right.
I was going to be the one doing the selling, you know, in those matches, you know. I mean, I would have my moments, but I was the young apprentice being brought along. And even though you know, I mean, we're talking about the 80s. I mean, I'd already put in, you know, 12, 15, you know, what, 15 years into the business. But I understood that position. That's all the thing. A lot of guys in the business don't understand that position. They don't understand, you know, how the people view you. And but I understood that. But that was fine. It was a great opportunity, and it brought me to a new level. It brought me to a new level, and a new level of respect with the Japanese fan, and with the fans, and within the framework of the business overall. Hey, Dibiase, Hansen's partner in Japan now, and with all the, you know, the perks that came along with that, it was great. You know, better money. So I was working for Bill and going to Japan 5 or 6 times a year.
You never had a problem with the work?
Huh?
You never had a problem with working for All Japan too, at the same time while working with him?
And working for Bill?
Right.
No. And Bill understood too. Bill had no problem with that. He says, in fact, that's good. He says, because for you to be gone for a while, you know, and then come back, you know, that breather is good. It just makes people want to see it more. And so that worked well. And then, you know, that went on for what? Guys, you guys know the timing of this even better than I can remember it. But it was 81 is when I went back to work for Bill. And from initially leaving Georgia. And then in 84, I went back to Georgia for a while. And then I left again, and I went back to work for Bill. And that was in '84. It was like in October of '84. And I was with Bill then until I went to the WF. And it was that time between '84 and '87 that I got that offer. And it was working as Stan's tag team partner in Japan. And I can remember I went to Bill had actually stepped down and still owned the company, but he was tired of running everything. And he had given the book to, I believe it was Ken Mantell and who?
Bill Dundee.
Well, okay, now this was after Dundee.
Okay.
You know, see, that's the other thing I saw Bill do that told me that Bill was getting tired, because Bill had built a solid territory and was just tired of doing it all, you know. And when he brought Dundee in, Dundee hot-shotted the territory. We went from gimmick match to gimmick match, and it was on fire for a while. But you know, when you do that, it finally, you know, it's just great for a while. You know, for a year or so, it's just absolutely, every time you open the doors, you're full. But then it just goes to the bottom. It just bottoms right out. You know, you kill it, and that's what he did. He came in, he shot-shotted it, he killed it, and they were trying to rebuild the business. And there were Ken Mantell and oh gosh, Jim Ross, and Ken Mantell were kind of running things for Bill, and Bruce Pritchard, who works for Vince, has been with Vince for years. Bruce and I were pretty good friends at the time. Bruce was working for Paul Bosch in Houston. And I remember, and I wasn't happy with things because they were, you know, things were getting slow. Bill didn't have his hand on it.
Right.
And I said, you know, I might just put more time in Japan, and, you know, if things don't get better here, I'm out of here. Well, Bruce was getting ready to go to interview for a job in New York.
Joel went too, right, Joel?
Yeah, Joel went as well. And so I went to Japan, and I said, look, drop my name there. I said, because they certainly know me, and you know, see if it gets a response. So while I'm in Japan, Bill sells the territory to Jim Crockett.
Right.
And I get news that I'm coming back to a territory that is no longer even owned by Bill Watts. And I said, well, don't worry though. You know, Jim wants to use you. And they wanted to sign me to a contract. And so I get back, and then Bruce Pritchard calls me, and Bruce says, Ted, whatever you do, don't sign anything until you have a chance to talk to Vince McMahon, because they are definitely interested.